republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So did you, Kathy won't be here.
That's what she said.
Can you call the roll?
Look this way.
Deputy Clerk.
Look this way. Get all back in place again, so I don't forget names. Ms. Vert?
Present.
Ms. Fafdahl?
Present.
Ms. Anderson?
Present.
Ms. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Klee, yes. And Ms. Campbell?
Present.
6. and
Alrighty,
1
are
absent.
there any additions or deletions to this evening's agenda? Since there are none. Are there any corrections to the minutes that we have? Do we have minutes? We don't have any minutes.
They were updated, so.
They were updated, but they're not included in our board packet. So we've got
Correct.
3 meetings now to approve next
2
time?
regulars and the, yes.
So that'll come before us at the next meeting. 2 regular, 1 special.
Special.
Alrighty, we'll move on to public comment. If you'd like to address the board, I'd ask that you'd come to the podium and state your name. You don't have to give us your address. And you'll be given 4 minutes to address the board.
This way.
Good evening. I'm Harold Steinman. I live at 6315 Stonegate Parkway. Not ashamed to say that. So, but I want to, first of all, I want to thank you, the board members, for being in your position for representing our township, because it's not a, it's not easy, but I thank you all for your commitment to our great township. I have 2 things that I wanted to bring up tonight, and one is really not pertaining directly to the board, but about a year prior to COVID, so I'm a what I call a rewired optometrist. I retired, but I have opened up a free eye clinic at St. Luke New Life Center, which is on Lawndale and Pasadena. And my purpose of bringing that up to the attention of everyone here is that if you know of any people who are underserved, who need eye care, that's the purpose of this of the clinic. And you can call St. Luke New Life Center to schedule an appointment. Right now, it was on. We had it for a year prior to COVID. Then COVID hit, and so then we were closed for a year and a half. We restarted it. And it's on Tuesdays. And so, again, I want to bring it to everybody's attention in this room to please pass the word that this is available, no cost whatsoever. And there is no question as far as if you need it or any type of requirement, there is none. I mean, your word is worth everything. So I just want you to know that is available. So the main thing what I want to talk about is I was here a couple of years ago, and I brought up a point. First of all, that about our township. We have a wonderful township. I've lived here since I was in 11th grade. I started in at that time was Ainsworth High School, and I've lived here ever since. And so I'm very proud of this township, where you have a very diverse, integrated township. And one thing I think we need to do is to display the diversity that we have in this township. And I brought it up about the fact that if you come into Flint Township, you see just Christmas decorations. And you realize, you think that this is only a Christian community. Well, it is not. It's very diverse, and we're going to have pretty soon. We're celebrating Hanukkah. There's going to be Kwanzaa. There's going to be obviously Christmas. The Hindus have a religion as well. But I think, and I brought that up, and I was told that there was going to be somebody looking into it about having decorations in our township to show that we do have a diverse community. Well, I think it's about 2 years, maybe 3 years. I think it's 2 years though. I mentioned about that, about bringing it up, about having that, and nothing has been done that I can see. But I would encourage this board to look into it about getting decorations, other things to make it festive for the various communities that we have within this community. So I thank you very much for my time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Steinman, if I might, real quick, time-wise for the clinic, you said Tuesdays, is there any time span in there?
Yeah, it's we started out, it's 9 to 1 right now, but the intent is to expand the time to other days as well.
Okay.
That's how we started a couple of years ago. We started out with 1 day, and then we increased it to 2 days, and so.
I just wanted to be able to put this in the minutes, the 9 to 1, yes, call St. Luke's New Life Center, but they could schedule a 9 to 1 time frame. I didn't have a time, and that's what I wanted from you.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Like I said, it's, but they could call, St. Luke, and get an appointment set. And if they have any questions, by all means, leave a message, and I will get back with you. And but the intent is that, the unfortunate thing is that north of the river, of the Flint River, there are no eye doctors, and so it's unfair. It's very unfair that being the case, and so this way I was always committed to this. And once I retired about 3 years ago, I said this is so needs to be done. And so thanks to Sister Carol, Sister Judy of St. Luke, who do a tremendous amount of work. That we have a clinic there, and I was able to get donations of equipment and funds as well, and so it's been a real community effort to get this in, but it's very, very worthwhile, and so I'm very appreciative.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. Oh, no, that's right. That's all right. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board?
That was my note. I needed to get a time on that.
My name is Gerald Roberts, 4487 Lindywood Drive, Swartz Creek, Michigan. I want to talk about respect for one another. I want to talk about board members having respect for other board members. And I think that this past year, that was not really happening. There was a movie not too awful long ago, and it was about some high school girls. And they had a connotation, the mean girls. I'd like every one of you to take a look in the mirror and relate back to this last year and say, have I treated my fellow person that's in that particular position with due respect and kindness, and not fall under the category as being, like in that movie, one of the mean girls? Understand at one of the budget meetings, an individual was attacked. At least that's the way that I had heard it, with regard to trying to make some comments with regard to the budget. That should not happen. Every member of the board should have due respect for another member of the board, even in a budget meeting. The good book says, love thy neighbor as thyself. I think every one of us should look in the mirror and say, have we done that? And look in the future and say, maybe we should be doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board? No?
I thought somebody was gonna get up. I'm Gene Leverett, 5210 Scenic View. I've been a 30-year member, a resident of Flint Township. But good evening. I just wanted to make a little statement here concerning this here name change. I've been seeing quite a bit of information out about that, but I would just like to make a note to the board is not to be urged or coerced by any means to rush this here into changing the name because of the fact that, first of all, I don't think we can afford it. And then second of all, I don't think the number of people that I talk to, it's not their will for it to be changed. And if it has to go any further than that, we need to take a closer look at it before we get into. We already spent about $6,000, I think it was, to have the survey performed before. So to my understanding, we're trying to get another survey going. So I don't think we need to keep spending this money on these surveys. And then if it were to happen, the amount of money that we'd have to spend to keep it going. So I'm looking at, it's a whole lot of effort, look like trying to, for one thing, undermine the township residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board? No, I don't see any. One more time. Anyone else like to address the board during public comment? So we're going to move on from public comment to reports. And I had a few things in my report. I wanted to let everyone know, if you didn't already know, which, good night. I think that most of you know, we were working on a Veterans Memorial, and our goal was to have it completed by Veterans Day, which was last week. So based on circumstances with, apparently there is a shortage of supplies, there's no more bricks available as we speak. There's still some more bricks that were ordered that need to be engraved, and then there's some blank bricks that we need to fill in the space. We have the stones that were ordered. They're being stored right now. We are going to have someone pour concrete for the ramp and the sign
This week.
this week. And after Thanksgiving, we should have the bricks in place. And then we can place the granite stones, and we'll have any type of a ceremony around Memorial Day next year when the weather's better. But we didn't want to set a date this fall because we weren't sure when the bricks would be available again. So that's what I wanted to let everybody know. Look for more information come the springtime toward Memorial Day for us to have a ceremony, a ribbon cutting, if you will, a groundbreaking at the Veterans Memorial. It's actually called the Heroes Plaza, so more updates on that to come. I wanted to mention that the name change committee last meeting, we heard an update from the chair of that name change committee, and I'm going to call on him to speak during committee report, and we'll talk more then. I assure you, Mr. Leverett, nothing's been decided. We are a blank canvas, and just because the state law passed the bill, which is now a law, it allows any township the ability to change their name. We have a long road ahead of us as far as what would be done, and it's going to be an inclusive decision. So nothing can happen without a vote of the residents. So if and when we get to that point, everybody will have the ability to have one vote, whether they are interested or not. So, you'll speak more in a minute. That's all I had to say in my report. I will say that we were behind a little bit on our yard waste pickup with Mterra. There were a lot of bags of leaves that went out, and they had to take 2 days to pick it up. But if you ever have an issue with can you throw something out like a TV or something? You can give a call here, or you can call MTerra directly. We will, you can put out 1 to 2 large items. They like a heads up. If you're going to put out a mattress and bed springs, or a refrigerator, there's certain rules that you have to follow. Oopsie. My time's up. Like, you have to take the door off, and I think the Freon has to be removed. But if you do have any questions, please give us a call, and we will help get an answer. I just want to let you know that they were delayed in picking up that yard waste. Anyhow, that's my report yes.
Madam Chair, when is the last day for yard waste pickup? Did you already say that?
Oh, I didn't.
Falls funny again.
It's coming close.
Falls
Yeah,
funny
our
again
normal
this year.
pickup is Thursdays, and of course, Thanksgiving being on Thursday, there are only 5 major holidays that delay our pickup by 1 day. So usually, that will be the last day, Friday after Thanksgiving. That will be the last day that your yard waste in those brown bags, or you can use a regular trash bin if it's marked yard waste. That's the last day it'll be picked up this year. So, thank you very much. So, Madam Clerk is not here this evening. Madam Treasurer, do you have a report for us this evening?
No.
Are there trustee reports this evening?
Not from me.
I got one in a minute. Let me go last. I'm still writing.
Down this way, Trustee Vert, Trustee Fafdal, do you have a report?
I'll just let them know that we're working on right now our first annual elf hunt and convention. The kickoff's going to be on December the 3rd, and it will go through the 18th. And what it is we will be putting out boxes for the businesses that want to sign up. And we'll also have a map online, and it will have little elves on the businesses so that people will know what businesses are participating in the elf hunt. The elf will be one of the prizes, and the businesses are also going to be putting gifts there, so that on that last Friday, we'll be drawing the names out of the box, and then a person will win an elf and also a gift. And then on that Saturday, the 18th, we'll be at Shea Automotive, and Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there, and there'll be some refreshments, and the children will be able to have pictures taken as well as write letters to Santa. So and if anybody will be needing volunteers there, we do have some info if anybody would like some information. Tracy's been working hard on that, and then we've been working with Shea and Hap, so we're trying to get sponsors, and if you know of anybody that would like to sponsor, participate, just let us know.
Thank you. Trustee Clee?
I just want to express something myself that I found out through MTerra. When we use the garbage cans, the guys prefer it to be less than 50 pounds. And the last time a bunch of grass was put out by all of us, me included, we got all that rain. And I actually went, and it really, and I went out and I dumped my cans and split them up. So in respect to the guys, I just wanted to mention the 50-pound rule, which I went out and helped the guys dump them, and they were appreciative, but they also understood the rain situation that we got into. So if we can be cautious of that, that's helpful to them. Just wanted to share that.
No other trustee reports? We'll move on to staff report. Lieutenant Wangler?
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Since the last meeting, the police department has responded to over 1,300 calls per day, which is roughly about 90 per day. Conducted 164 traffic stops, 83 business checks, and 36 residence checks. And last week, all the board members should have received the press release authored by Lieutenant James Baldwin. There was a crash at approximately 4:17 p.m. at the intersection of Corona and Ryan. The investigation showed that an eastbound vehicle was driven by an 18-year-old male. Looks like excessive speed. He had crossed the center line and collided with a 74-year-old male resident of Flint Township. Both parties were transported to the hospital. The older man was pretty banged up, but happy to report he is looking to make a full recovery.
Thank God.
And that's all. No items for the agenda.
Thank you.
That's great news.
Fire Marshal Beckley?
Thank you. Since the last board meeting, the fire department's responded to 35 calls. Of those, on November 10th, we did assist the police department at that accident. On the 11th, we did respond to another vehicle accident on I-69 near Bristol. One patient was extricated from a vehicle using the jaws of life on that call. And on November 12th, we responded to a structure fire in the 1000 block of Normandy Terrace. We arrived to find a small kitchen fire. Luckily, it was mostly out by the time we got there. We were able to contain the damage to mainly the kitchen. So happy to report no other major issues. And you may have noticed at the fire stations, the flags are flying at half staff. They have been for about a week now. That's in memory of on-call firefighter Tom Royal. He served with us from 1973 to 2010, and he passed away November 9th. So that is why, and that is all.
That's a long time of service.
37 years, yes.
Thank you. Mrs. Tucker, do you have a report for us this evening?
We do have the EDC board meeting is tomorrow at 4:30. During that meeting, Chairman Ratliff has invited Mr. Herman and Mr. Ross Messler from Flint and Genesee Group to give a presentation. And then we'll also have our public information meeting immediately following for the authorities. That's a Public Act required meeting that we have to have. That we'll also have the second public information meeting will be prior to the December 6th meeting at 5 p.m. if anybody would like to attend those. Also, as Trustee Pfaff-Dahl mentioned, we do have the elf hunt and convention coming up, so we're working diligently on that. We also have Beecher Road Corridor Improvement Authority meeting at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday to do their draft budget. I do have the budgets for the Bristol Road Corridor Improvement Authority and the DDA on for tonight. And a couple of projects we have going on. We do have interest in the Linden Bristol area. I have a project that's moving forward there. And also, we'll have a big announcement soon regarding the Baker property. Gentleman that I've been working with does have a signed purchase agreement for the property. And once they decide to make it public, we'll do that in an official setting, so.
Great. Alrighty, committee reports. John, I know we didn't have a meeting today. We postponed the Road Advisory Committee meeting to November 22nd. And we're going to be working on, and Mr. Leverett, who's on that committee also, we'll be working on the road improvement plan for projects for next year, and it's an open meeting. So it'll be November 22nd at 3:30 p.m. here, if you're interested. And Jerry, did you want to announce the name change committee meeting? You can.
You want me to announce what?
Yeah, the name change committee meeting.
The supervisors agreed that the committee, which you all authorized us to reinvigorate or restart, will meet on Monday, the 13th of December at 6 o'clock in this room. As before, anybody who sends an email to the township will be given an invite to the meeting and the materials for the meeting. And I've sent the supervisor information so that she can send that tomorrow to all the folks that we already have the emails for from the last committee. And so all of you are invited. Obviously, the media is invited. Everybody's invited. We'll take it up to the limits that the fire marshal will let us have.
What is the email for the township they need to send that to?
Any questions or things like that?
Um,
December 13th, 6 o'clock.
They can call it in, or they can send it to info@flinttownship.org. Or my email address, kmiller@flinttownship.org.
Yeah, you can send the email here to the township, I think.
Yeah, but info
Just let me know.
@flinttownship.org will get it to us.
Okay.
6 o'clock.
And,
Yeah, same time as this meets.
wait. It was brought up that we spent money on a survey. We haven't done that yet, have we?
No.
That will be discussed at the meeting.
Yeah, we got to that point of starting to do that. You had authorized it, and we stopped it because the township attorney said we can't do anything.
So just to be sure, that was an all-volunteer committee. You didn't get paid, and the only cost was the paperwork, the copies of the papers.
Yeah, the copy machine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and if we get there, that individual is still available. Remember, we said the guy that invented Pure Michigan was somebody we'd like to talk to, and he's still available. And that's
quite a ways down the road before we get that far.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Alrighty, so that's it for committee meetings. Number 8, Madam Treasurer, payment of bills.
Yes, we do not have any bills for payment, but I did want to acknowledge, make a motion to acknowledge invoices and disbursements that went out in the amount of $500,286.75.
So you said that was a motion. Do you want a second to that motion? You want to vote on that?
I do.
Is there a second to the
Support.
motion? We have a second. Any questions for Madam Treasurer? Any further discussion? Deputy Clerk Klee, can you take the roll call, please?
I will. Ms. Pfaff-Dahl,
Yes.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Klee, yes. Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Ms. Vert,
Yes.
6-0, 1 absent.
So that passed. Number 9 is correspondence and informational items. So the controller has finished a draft of the budget, and I've asked him to send it to you via email for you to review. And once you review it, if you have any questions, you can ask department heads, you can ask the controller. But please, you'll have 2 weeks, because as you see on the agenda, we're going to set the public hearing for our next meeting. Hopefully that'll pass, where we have a public hearing to discuss the budget. So you have now, you should, if you haven't received it already, you should receive it tomorrow. And you'll have the 2 weeks to ask your questions, just bringing that to your attention. And it might be more than 2 weeks. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3 weeks till December 3rd. Alrighty, that's correspondence and informational items. We are on to new business. Action item A is the 2021 Winter Tax Roll Special Assessment Certification. You have the information before you. These are the assessments that we're going to certify, and then we'll have liens also for non-paid fees. Someone would like to make the motion to approve the certification for all assessments and liens to the 2021 winter tax roll. Please do so.
Anderson moves that we accept the 2021 winter tax roll special assessment as brought before us with any, need to make any changes if anything came
Yeah,
up.
sometimes some needs to be removed, but we can't
Right.
add any more.
Yes.
Is there a second to the motion?
We would second.
Are there any questions? No? Deputy Clerk Klee, would you please take the roll call on approving certifying the 2021 winter tax roll special assessment?
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Klee, yes. Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Ms. Vert,
Yes.
Ms. Pfaff-Dahl,
Yes.
6-0, 1A.
Thank you. Action item B is the Bristol Road Corridor Improvement Authority, CIA EDD budget. Would you like to speak on that, Ms. Tucker?
This is the draft as approved by the Bristol Road CIA and presented for your approval. There is one change that was made in it that would also have to be approved upon adoption. But the request was that public safety funds that go into the account go in, become a project every year that goes back out to the township. So that was put in there as a $10,000 expenditure versus originally it was, I think, $1,000. So that is a change. So if you, so that change has been made. So it will have to have final approval at the CIA, but I don't foresee there being any issue with that.
And this was recommended by the Bristol Road CIA Board?
Right, without the adjustment of the 10,000. I did that,
After?
Yes.
And so
So-
we approve it, it goes back to them.
right.
A motion is in
They
order
approve
to.
it, then it's adopted.
Do you want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Bristol Road CIA 2022 budget as presented.
Is there a second to the motion?
Support.
Question?
Second. No.
2 seconds.
I think I had Barb down there, didn't I?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Any questions? Any further discussion?
Let's see who I skipped, just a minute.
Hearing none, I'll speak slowly. Deputy Clerk Klee, would you please take the roll call on approving the Bristol Road Corridor Improvement Authority 2022 budget as presented? Please.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Klee, yes. Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Ms. Vert,
Yes.
Ms. Fafdal.
Yes.
Action item C, Mrs. Tucker?
This is the Flint Township DDA budget. At the last meeting, it was asked that the public safety funds be included in that, so I've made the changes. The actual amount was $33,000, so I made that change, and so I just wanted to bring it back to you so you could approve it with that change in it before I take it to the DDA.
Go ahead.
Anderson moves that we approve the amended 2022 budget for the Flint Township Development Authority as submitted.
I'll second it.
Are there any questions or discussion? Is this the same that you gave us last time, except for the public safety?
Yes.
33,000, right? That's what I amended it as with the 33.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you take the roll call, please, on the DDA budget? This will go back to your board, right?
Yes.
Ms. Miller. Oh, I have a move by Ms. Anderson. I have a second
just
by
have
Ms.
one
Camp-
quick question.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there was one other change. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you that. I increased the donation amount because we had accounted for expenditures out of the donation fund with donations, and they X'd each other out, but Kevin said that I needed to actually show them so that we could process the expenditure. So there was a slight change in the donation amount, and then the line item donated, community promo donated funds. So there was a change there, but they zero each other out.
So I got two questions, and I just want to make sure the board knows this. Under deputy, you'll see that line item. You have the salary budgeted for 2021, and under 2022, it's zero. I just want to make clear that everyone sees that and that they know what they're voting on. And then, right? And then the second question is, under the directors, you have an amount for unused personal. Is that for previous or going forward?
Where are you seeing?
What page are you on, Karen? I lost
I'm
that.
under page 10B.
Oh, are you talking about on page 20?
Page 14.
10CA,
Well, it'd be-
10CA, packet page 20.
10BA, page 14.
That's if I don't use my personal time, then I get paid
Is that
out.
for next year, right?
That's this
Should be,
one
yeah.
Here, yes.
Because it says unused. I wasn't sure if it was from last year or if it's going forward.
No, I think it's going forward.
Okay, thank you. That's all. We have a motion and a second to approve the budget as presented with the changes that Mrs. Tucker made. Roll call, please.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Klee? Yes. Ms. Yes, Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Vert?
Yes.
Ms. Fafdal?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
6-0, 1 absent.
Thank you. Action item D.
Starts with me. Hold on.
So Lieutenant Wangler, has me down here talking about it, but this has been an ongoing project that Chief Salter and I have been, well, he's done most of the work, to update the fee schedule for cost recovery. He's worked on it a lot. Did you have anything that you wanted to say in regards to cost recovery in the police department?
Just nothing more than has probably already been discussed. This would be non-residents, is my understanding, would be, so.
There's
I
nothing in
don't see
it.
the,
It's
don't have
not,
it either.
it's not in
we
here.
don't have the
Cost
document.
recovery, this was
Can
the only
we-
information.
Bring it next week?
Yeah, we're
Next
gonna,
board?
make the motion to postpone.
Yeah, I got no, that's what she said.
May I?
Yeah.
All right, I would like to make a motion out of respect for the police department that we move that this be postponed till our next regularly scheduled meeting so that we can have the full packet in front of us.
I know it was put in here, but it's
It
missing.
didn't come through, it's, I
No,
don't
that's fine.
see it.
We'll bring it at the next meeting. Please do the roll call.
I didn't get a second.
Yes, you did
I'm
down
sorry,
here.
Ms. Vert, I apologize. I have a second.
Did it print on yours?
Do you have it? Bud,
Okay. Mr. Klee, yes. Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Vert?
Yes.
Ms. Fafdal?
yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
6-0,
Thank
1
you.
absent.
Action item E is to set the public hearing for the 2022 Appropriations Resolution Act. Is there anyone who'd like to make that motion to have the public hearing at our December 6th meeting?
Anderson would move that we would set the public hearing for our 2022 Appropriations Act for December 6th at 6 o'clock.
Hold on a second, I gotta get there. Sorry, dropped a page. Okay, go ahead.
We have a motion, we need a second.
I'll second it.
Moved by Anderson, second by C. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Can you take the roll call, please?
Skip, I am. All right, Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Ms. Vert,
Yep.
Ms. Pfaff-Dahl,
Yes.
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Klee, yes. 1 absent.
Thank you. Action item F is the request from the Old Newsboys to, on December 10th, to collect donations at the following sites: Flushing and Ballinger, Hemphill and Van Slyke, Graham and Calkins, Graham and Court, Beecher and Elms, Dye and Court, Dye and Calkins, Dye and Beecher, Court and Ryan, Lennon and Elms, Fenton and Hemphill, Fenton and Maple, Torrey and Maple. So, yes?
May I?
May you what? Sure.
Just one quick, those are the approved streets, if I'm not mistaken. They're asking to maintain their access as Hemphill and Van Slyke, but they want to swap out the mall and add one of those, if I'm not mistaken. Weren't these just the approved sites we'd allow them at? But they were looking for only 2 to actually be at. Am I,
Is whether or
correct
not
me
to
if I'm
add
wrong.
Dye Road and Court Street for December 10th. But
The inter-
that's amendment to the collection sites.
Okay, but maybe I missed it.
Yeah, it says it right here. The question tonight is to whether or not to add Dye Road and Court Street. So I guess I didn't really need to read those, but anyway. If anyone wants to make the motion, go right ahead. And that means that to all those sites, we'll be adding Dye Road and Court Street for collection.
I move that we allow the Old Newsboys to collect at all the sites that were mentioned.
Is there a second?
Support.
Any further discussion?
Yes, if I may, real quick. I'm just, Lisa, you were support? All right, when I read this, I read that they were going to use 2 sites out of all of this list. They were, the list at the bottom is the list of approved sites that we could use. The paragraph at the top, if I understood this correctly, they were going to use Hemphill and Van Slyke and the Macy's parking lot, and they're asking to swap out Macy's this year, stay at Hemphill and Van Slyke as the first site, and the only other site they would collect from in the township would be adding in Dye and Court, where it's one of the approved sites that we had access to. Did I read it wrong, or did I
No, it says
interpret it
that.
right? So
They
it's
wanna
only 2.
switch- No, I think they're going to be at the others. The following is a list of the intersections approved. All those intersections,
Correct, but
they want to switch out them all for Dye and Court.
as the 2 that,
I think they're going to be collecting in more than 2 sites, Tom. That's
They
just
usually do.
what I'm reading here.
but if you read this, and again, I might be reading the paragraph wrong. May I read it out loud?
Sure.
Do you mind?
No, go right ahead.
Lisa, you're going to say
I
something.
was just going to ask if anybody had a problem, if they're all those sites plus the mall, plus the other places.
Well, the other places in this list.
Right.
It's always been in this list.
So if they're not,
I just wanted to clarify that we're correct. They're not going to go to the mall, they're not going to be at Macy's, so that won't be an issue for anybody, but they're asking to...
Go ahead and read it.
Okay. Trustees, the Old Newsboys have requested an amendment to the collection sites previously approved for December 10, 2021. They will not be utilizing the parking lot area of Macy's that Genesee Valley Mall has previously approved. The other intersection the other intersection where collection will occur this year is Hemphill and Van Slyke. They have requested to collect at the intersection of Dye and Court instead of GVM, Genesee Valley Mall. The intersection was on the approved list given to the Old Newsboys in 2017 as this list by retired Police Chief Sippert. The following is the list of approved intersections that they could collect from. I'm seeing it as they're only going to collect, maybe I read it wrong again, but if that's the case, all we're saying is go ahead and collect at Dye and Court instead of at the mall, and still at Hemphill Road. Only 2 sites, am I right?
No.
No,
all
all of this.
They're going to be everywhere but the
Everywhere.
valley.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay, I'm good with that, then
Everywhere but the valley.
I'm okay with it. I just wanted clarification on what's happening here. All plus.
We'll read the rest of the letter.
There have been a lot of changes since 2017. It begs the question as to whether this list should be updated or if collections at intersections should be banned altogether. The discussion has been with Chief Salter. He is in favor of the latter. He stated he would leave the decision to the Board of Trustees for this evening and for 2021. The question tonight is whether or not to add Dye, Road, and Court for the December 10 collection time, which if you read it all, again, it's like it clarifies. To me, it says they're only going to be in 2 places in Flint Township. And I could be totally wrong. But if I'm reading that, that's what it reads to me.
Did you have a conversation? You didn't have a conversation with the clerk for clarification? She wrote it, right?
No, I didn't have, no, I'm reading right from this packet.
It says, "I have discussed the matter with Chief Salter." Who's "I"?
Would have been Kathy.
Assume it would
she
be
wrote it.
Kathy. She wrote the memo.
So do you want to make a motion and approve those places in Dye
Gladly do
Road?
that. Well, it's already been done.
Well, just in case.
It was done with,
It would be an updated list, wouldn't it?
Will you amend your motion to read the updated list?
yes, I will amend the
Okay.
motion to make the updated list.
Thank you. I apologize for any delay on this overall, folks. Please accept my apology. Okay.
Any further discussion on the motion to approve this list in Dye Court? No? Would you take the roll call, please?
Sorry about that.
No, not a problem.
Ms. Vert?
Yes.
Ms. Pfaff-Dahl?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
No?
That was going to happen. Mr. Klee? Yes. Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
5-1, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Action item G, resignation of elected official. So we are being asked to approve the resignation of Clerk Kathy Funk. Would you please, Deputy Clerk Klee, would you read the letter, please?
To the Flint Township Board of Trustees from Clerk Kathy Funk. In regards to a resignation dated November 15, 2021. This is official notice that I will be resigning from my elected position as clerk serving the Charter Township of Flint effective Monday, November 22nd, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. My keys and my security fob will be turned over at that time, as well as the keys to the Elections Specialist Administrative Assistant's office. I will regret no longer serving the residents, business owners, and voters of Flint Township, as well as working with what I consider to be amongst the best election inspectors in the state of Michigan. I will also regret not working alongside the clerical employees and the staff who I've come to see as family since my tenure at Flint Township began in 2006. Submitted by Kathy Funk, Flint Township Clerk.
So we need a motion in order to accept the letter of resignation.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resignation of Clerk Kathy Funk effective Monday, November the 22nd at 5:30 PM.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion?
Second, 1 second, I'm just getting my numbers in place. Man, who voted last? Sorry. Yep, I had to see where I was, sorry. Okay.
So if there's no further discussion, would you please call the roll?
I will. Ms. Pfaff-Dahl?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Klee? Nope. Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Vert?
No.
4-2 with 1 absent. The motion carries.
Thank you. Action item H is to fill the elected official vacancy. So in your board package, you received how a board fills a vacancy according to Michigan Township Association, the red book they give for guidance to townships. So you have the information in front of you. And it gives you the scenario of how a vacancy occurs and how you fill a vacancy. And I just want to read here that township board must appoint someone to fill a township board vacancy within 45 calendar days after the vacancy occurred. If a township official submits a written resignation from an elective township office, the township board may appoint a person within 30 days before the effective date to fill the vacancy once it occurs. Let's see. The township board may wish to conduct interviews. They must be done in an open session at a public meeting. The township board may appoint anyone who is eligible to hold elective office, township office. That means the qualifications are someone who is a resident of the township and is also a registered voter. The board is not required to advertise the vacancy or solicit resumes, but may do so to attract a larger and a more capable pool of candidates. And the board is not required to consider the runner-up from the last election or any other previous candidate or applicant. So, we have that information. I hope you had a chance to read it. And if anybody would like to move forward, you mentioned something. Tom, you thought that you wanted to move in a direction of accepting letters. Do you want to make that motion?
I would, okay. How do I want to word this? I hadn't put it all together in my mind. I move, let's see. It's done this. How did I want to, okay. I would like to make a motion that we request public input and/or a letter of interest, et cetera, resume not necessary, acceptable, for the position to fill the clerk's position here in the township, hoping that we would gain multiple qualified candidates to choose from.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, and I just want to state this for clarification. I did speak with MTA and I spoke with our attorney. This is a temporary appointment.
Correct.
So if anybody's going to submit a letter of interest, this would be for 1 year. The person who has an interest in being the next elected clerk for Flint Township would have to run in the August 2022 primary if they want to continue the position. So this appointment would be from November 22nd at 5:31 p.m. until December 20th at noon, when a new clerk would take over that position after the next election. So we have a motion on the floor to take letters of interest for the vacant position of township clerk. Yes?
Couple questions. Where'd you come up with that idea? And what did we do in the past? We've had to appoint people before in the past, this board.
When reading this last night and today over, in my mind, over and over, and not having any opportunity or any discussion amongst any of us, because we can't get together unless there's 3 of us or less, and it doesn't make,
Or phone call one-on-one.
right? So I just felt that this would maybe be the better way, since none of us had, or I hadn't had any conversation with anyone else. Let me say that. I had 0 conversation with anyone else.
So you're asking a question of a board who hasn't faced this before, but I do know that in 2006, when there was a recall election and Doug Carlton was a trustee and he became the supervisor,
Right.
that opened his position, and John McGilvery retired or resigned. So there was 2 open positions. Help me, you were here, Tracy. You were a trustee at the time. Did you take letters of application, or did he just appoint? He appointed Frank Castle and he appointed Brady Smith, right? So they just made an appointment that night. That's how it was handled in the past. Okay? So is there any other further discussion? Any other questions? No? Would you please take the roll call on your motion to accept letters of interest? Wait a second here. If we were to do that, how long do people have
That's what I was saying, we
to
have to have a length
submit
of
the
time.
letter?
Now, in my thought, and I had a conversation with you just prior to this meeting, that I did have a conversation with, was a timeline. And being that the 5 p.m. time, so we would need to put that in place in say, a week. We talked about a week, and then have to have a special meeting in order to vote on it once that person had stepped away.
So we would accept letters until next Monday at this time, and if we go in this route, we'll have a special meeting called for filling the vacancy once her resignation is official. Is that what you're asking?
We need more time than that. We need more time than a week from today,
Well, in a week is when she steps down officially at 5:30.
but, and then accept letters of interest for how long? That's
what I'm
my
asking.
question.
And we're right to the holiday, we're right to Thanksgiving.
That's correct. And also that area's been closed for quite a while. And we don't even have the employee position posted yet that was supposed to be posted. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Otherwise, we'd appoint somebody instead of taking,
Well, we're going to vote on this.
yeah, but I mean, that would be our other option.
Your other option, if this gets voted down, is to appoint somebody.
This evening, you said, is that what you said? I'm sorry, miss. Is that what
I'd imagine so.
Okay.
Are you interested, Tom?
No, I have a full-time, I mean, I'd love to be able to give you the opportunity. I would love to be able to sit down and do that,
Yes or no?
but I cannot walk away from over there. I have a full-time position.
Can we set a date for receiving letters?
Sure. Do you want to go to the end of this week? Is that not enough time? The night on Friday?
Here's my,
You don't think it's enough time?
you don't think it's enough time, but we have people coming in the office
Right.
wanting information from the clerk's office, and it's not open.
I agree.
And the sooner we get somebody in here to do that work, the better. So I know it's not a lot of time, but I think 7 days would be enough time for someone to give us a letter.
Express an interest?
And we say, end of day, Monday?
End of business, or
I mean, you'd think
3
that
o'clock on
There'd
Monday?
be somebody saying something the last 2 or 3 weeks since it's been put out there. And I've heard nothing. Nobody's said, hey, interested. No call, no nothing.
So you want to put that date, Monday, November 22nd, 5:30 PM is the end of our business day? Along with your motion, does that sound good?
Yes, ma'am.
Any further questions or discussion on this motion to,
Monday, November 22nd at
at
5:30,
5:30
correct?
PM? Yeah,
Remember when?
22nd, that's a week from today. No further discussion? No more questions? Trustee, it's Deputy Clerk Clee to me.
Ms. Anderson?
Roll call, please, yeah.
No.
Ms. Miller?
No.
Mr. Klee, yes? Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Vert?
No.
Ms. Pfaff-Dahl?
No.
Motion fails.
So are we going to move forward and do something tonight?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Manya Triplett,
Can you spell that, please?
MANYATRIPLETT, to serve as the interim clerk for the year until an election time. Ms. Triplett did run for clerk. I would say that the residents spoke. There was only 70 vote difference in between the two, so it was a very, very close race. She's a very professional person. I have met her. I have spent time around her. I think it says a lot. I don't know, for those of you that have not run and made that investment, financial investment and a time commitment investment to get out there and hit the streets, that's saying a lot. That's really saying that you care about the community and you want to be involved. So with that, I'd like to make that motion.
Her background is a realtor, you said, so no experience in
Correct.
the elections.
I had none as a treasurer when I came in, but we will figure it out.
Does she have interest in it and
She
she's
does
willing?
have, she does have interest, yes.
Is she here by chance this evening?
No.
No? Okay.
Is there a second to the motion?
Or
Would you spell Miss Triplett's name again? I think I had it right. Double P, double T?
Who was asking for the
You
spelling?
know what?
Was it double
I
P, double?
think, I don't want to be corrected. I don't, I'll have to look it up for you.
Please, if you
okay?
would. I don't
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
misspell it. MANYA, and then I had double P, double T, triplet. I'm sorry.
Let's see if I can get it for you, Tom.
Maybe I can,
TRIPLETT. P-L-E-T-T.
1P?
1P.
1P.
1P, 2 Ts.
Thank you.
So there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions? No? Deputy Clerk Klee, would you please take the roll call on the motion to appoint Manya Triplett to the temporary, to fill the vacancy on a temporary basis from the time of resignation till November 20th at noon, when the next clerk will be elected to the Township Board.
To December December.
November 20th.
That's right, November 20, 2022. Fill a temporary for resignation to December 2020. Okay, got it. Starts with Ms. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Klee, no. Ms. Campbell.
No.
Ms. Vert.
Yes.
Ms. Pfaff-Dahl.
Yes.
And Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-2. One absent.
Thank you. Action item I is to appoint a member to the negotiating team for the fire and police union negotiations.
Make a motion if I may. I move that Ms. Lisa Anderson be appointed to that board to fill that position. And as the position, or as the negotiations are going forward.
Is there a second to the motion?
Or,
Is there any further discussion?
Yes. She and I have sat on negotiations for off and on for 5 years, and have worked very well together, I think, and to fill that position and not have a gap in the situation we're in right now, as we are negotiating practically every afternoon lately. I look forward to working other nights with her.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate you
Ms. Vert,
bringing-
that was you, right? Second? Barb?
Did you
yes.
second it?
Yes.
Yep.
Roll call, please.
My numbers. I think I started with you, so I gotta start with me. Mr. Klee, yes. Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Vert?
Yes.
Ms. Pfaff-Dahl?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
And Ms. Miller?
Yes.
6-0, one absent.
Our next meeting is scheduled for December 6, 2021 at 6 PM. We'll have the public hearing for our 2022 budget, and if there's no further business and without objection, we'll call the meeting adjourned.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.